Hey guys, what's going on, man? It's Keren. This is Pastor Brent.
What's up?
We're here with another installment of Let's Talk, where we're here to answer questions that you want to hear. And so here we're going to talk about something that's kind of cool, leadership.
Okay.
Pastor Brent, a few weeks ago you gave this cool parable about monkeys and a banana. Would you mind sharing that a little bit?
Yeah, the concept was relatively simple. I called it the parable of the five monkeys. It was in a book from the 80s, and it's been repeated around leadership structures, but in conversations. But the story goes like this: that there were five monkeys that were put into a room with a pole. On the top of the pole, there were bananas, and every time a monkey would start climbing to the top of the pole to get a banana, the people would shoot him in the face with a water hose. So obviously, the monkey would come back down. And one at a time, the monkeys would start climbing to the top of the pole to get the banana, and one at a time, they get shot in the face. And so you do that long enough, and the monkeys actually stop climbing to the pole. And so what would happen is they would replace the monkeys one at a time. So they would bring in a new monkey, and when that monkey would start to climb to the top of the pole to get the banana, the other monkeys would actually tackle the monkey and prevent him from getting to the top of the pole. So they don't want him to experience the same pain that they experience, so they would stop him from going to the top of the pole. And so even though that monkey had never been sprayed in the face, he wouldn't go to the top of the pole because the other monkeys would stop him. Well, one at a time, they actually replaced the monkeys. And so that over the course of time, all five monkeys were new, and none of those monkeys had been in the room when they were shot in the face. So even though none of them had experienced it, what they were finding is that monkeys, when they would come in and start to go up the pole, the monkeys would still grab them based off of some idea from the past that they're going to get shot in the face. Even though they'd never experienced it, they had heard about it, so to speak. They knew the culture said, don't go for the monkey because you'll get hurt. And that story's probably not true. The way I've heard it, I think it's more of a parable than it is a true story. Hopefully we don't have scientists in some zoo shooting monkeys in the face with water hoses. It's just not nice. But at the end of the day, it is definitely a true parable of the way culture is inside of leadership, in that some people have experienced pain in the past. And so because of that pain in the past, as soon as somebody else tries to reach out and do this thing that caused them pain, they think, don't do that, what are you doing, hold you back. Maybe even trying to help. And they're trying to pull somebody down when they're trying to reach up. And that happens all over the place in leadership, in life. I mean, think of it this way. If you've been significantly hurt, I'll give you a great example. I know of some families who, when they were kids, they were molested overnight trips at friends or family's houses, right? And so all these years later, now when their child wants to stay at their sister's house or whatever, they are scared to death. They won't let their child spend the night at somebody else's house. And sometimes that can be a good thing, but even if it's a place they completely trust and understand and they know everybody there, they won't let their child do it because they experienced so much pain back here. Now I'm holding everybody else down from it. In leadership structures, it can be the idea of a new creative idea or something that's new, that's out of the box, that nobody's experienced or is just wild and crazy a little bit. And because it's new, people try to hold it back and say, oh, you can't do that, you can't, it won't work, or this and that, and you get all these stories of people trying to hold other people back. And so you see that really across the board with everything. I think the cool part of this is that as I understand it, monkeys, the true story of monkeys as they tell it, is that there will always be a monkey, a primate, who will still go get the banana. Like even in that setting, even if it really were true and they were getting shot with water and all of that, there will always be the one who breaks the barriers, who says, I will not stop. I don't care if you try to stop me. I'm going after the banana. And this is, I guess, why we're having the discussion now. But I just think Christians for so long have gotten to a mindset of safety instead of going out. We confused faithfulness and fruitfulness. And so to some believers, faithfulness means don't sin, don't smoke chip, or what is it? Don't smoke, dip, or chew, or run with girls who do, whatever that thing is. So faithfulness means like you protect everything, you don't do anything wild and crazy, but that's not really the case at all. In fact, faithfulness is fruitfulness, and if we're not fruitful, we're probably not faithful. Now, fruitfulness can mean different things, but if you take the parable of the talents, some had 3, some had 5, some had 10, and they go out and one person buried his. He protected it. He did what he was supposed to do. He buried it. He brings it back to the master, and the master's like, you wicked and horrible servant, like you should have made money off of this. I gave you this. But that's what we do in the church world. So we get what God's blessed us with, and then we try to hold it, try to protect it, make sure nobody can mess with it. And we create this identity around that. I mean, think about it, even the terms we use. So we use the word sanctuary, right? We come to the sanctuary. Like I get where that comes from, but a sanctuary is like this place of safety where nothing can harm you and you're protected inside this area. Let's protect this inside this area. Where I think faithfulness and fruitfulness go hand in hand. We keep stretching to get the bananas, even if we fail, which we'll probably talk about another one of these, talking about failing forward. But even if we fail, we got to keep striving, keep going after it with all of our heart. And that's what you see with the people with the talents, the men with the talents, and they took their talents and they doubled them. And I don't think it's even about double them. I think it's the fact that they tried to do something with their talent, right? If it didn't double, if it only gained one more, I think the master still would have said, "Good job, right. You did your best with what you had." And I just think in the church world, so often we hold people back from their potential. So when we built our campus here at Arise, the new campus in Brandon, we came from a small church, small building, I should say. Church is people, it's not a building. But we came from a small building to a larger building. And there was a guy right before we moved in, probably a month or so before we moved in. He's a retired local pastor who came in, helped himself inside the building. Construction was still going on, so doors were open. He did his own little tour, walked over to the offices after that. And I didn't even know he was here. He walked over to the offices and I saw him there and we started a conversation. And I was describing the building and this and that. And he looked at me and in straight up honesty, he said, "Yeah, you guys will probably never fill that building up."
Wow.
And I'm like, it just completely took me aback. I'm just like, wow. And so I responded, I said, "No, well, we are going to fill that building up and we're going to fill it up more than once. And we believe we're going to fill it up really quickly." And you know the story. We moved in this building in, I think, October. Easter, which was the beginning of April that year, I believe, or into March, I mean. Easter, we went to 2 services. So we filled it up relatively quickly and then one. And now we're even looking more into the future of what's going to happen here now. Point is, that is a great example of another local pastor grabbing the monkey by the legs and "Don't go for it. You're going to fail. It's going to be painful. It's going to hurt. You can't do it. You can't win. You can't." But I just think as Christians, we are called to rise above, man. We got to go above and beyond. We got to keep reaching for higher things, greater things, and just go after it and get rid of the fear of failure.
I think that's something cool. When I first started here, that's one thing you've been working on with me, is just keep trying, because a lot of times failure is scary, and we look back to the past, but just keep trying. And I think that's so important nowadays to understand that success has failure in front of it, and even though we failed in the past, just keep going and keep going and keep going.
You cannot succeed if you're not willing to fail.
Exactly.
And you can only seed to your level of willingness to fail.
Right.
The pain of failure is going to be there, but you have to be willing to push past your limits of pain in order to succeed.
Well, there you have it. Keep trying. Don't be that monkey that holds people back.
Don't let the culture that says you can't do this determine what you can and cannot do.
That's right.
That's the Holy Spirit.
And so let's leave with that idea, just to keep trying. Whether you're a mother, father, pastor, don't stop others from really reaching to what God has for them.
Right.
That's what we have for today's episode of Let's Talk, where we're here to answer questions you want to hear. We'll see you guys next time.
Peace.